Oh, guys, look, it's daylight. No, time to record. We don't work when the sun's out. That would be just ridiculous. Guys, what's up? Sam here. Welcome back to another video. Listen, I wanted to hop on the mic today to talk about some details that I've been, what's the word? Marinating in. Oh, I hate that. That sounds weird. It sounds like I'm just like a bag of bones and meat. But that is how Apple Silicon has made me feel. It's made me feel really excited. Like, I didn't really cover the Mac on this channel or platform extensively ever because there just, number one, didn't seem to be that much interest in it. And more importantly, number two, I didn't have that much interest in it. Like, every year when there'd be an Intel upgrade, I'd like talk about it, and you really never hear about it from me again. But we are hearing more and more details every week about the future of Apple Silicon, and I just can't help but be super hyped, like in every way, because it just seems like the Mac was plateauing for so long, and now we're finally jumping back in to like some actual innovation and some cool things that we've never seen on the Mac before that Apple is partnering due to new technologies available with Apple Silicon. So I want to start off by talking about the processing power of these chips themselves. So all the info today, as well as like my last few Mac videos, have been courtesy of Mark Gurman. He is 90% accurate for over 400 rumors. He is the most accurate source in the game by rumor capita, if we want to go there. He's just always getting these little tidbits, and he's been throwing some zingers. As far as like the M2, M1X, even like further on M3 chips, we don't have exact specs yet because obviously like that stuff doesn't really ever leak. But what is incredibly exciting is we've gotten some tidbits from Gurman about this, like saying that, you know, basically Apple is partnering these truly upgraded Apple Silicon chips, not the base ones, with like redesigns. So new MacBook Pro redesign, iMac redesign with slimmer bezels. And then we have some specific features coming in the future to like what will be M2 and M3. But there's actually a line in a recent article from him about the Apple VR headset that they're working on that's got me feeling super wavy, because in talking about this VR goggles that Apple's going to release like sometime in 2022, he's got this comparison to what the processing power in this headset is going to be like, because it's not going to rely on your computer or your phone like some VR does to power the headset. It's going to be all intra, so it's going to handle the processing power in the headset. So there's this line in the article that says Apple is aiming to include some of its most advanced and powerful chips in the headset, along with displays that are much higher resolution than those in existing VR headsets. And then about the chips specifically, it says some of the chips tested in the device beat the performance of Apple's M1 processor. And I'm like, okay, so like it's one thing to like put like an M1 in a computer that can do like everything, but like VR is a bit more specialized, obviously like graphics being very important. The fact that Apple has chips right now that are out in their headset that beat the M1 is like kind of, I don't know. I guess that makes sense, but that was just like a weird detail that I was like, okay, so like, when can I get this in my Mac? We're hearing as soon as spring and then into summer for when the next batch of M1 Macs will be coming. It'll either be an iMac or new MacBook Pros that are redesigned. I think WWDC is what Gurman has said. That's Apple's big software event, but they've been known to unveil specifically Mac hardware there. But looking even further into the future, I've been like, all right, I want a little bit of something else. Like, because we're talking a lot about like the chips and the redesigns, of course, like slimmer bezels on the iMac, or also, you know, a more flat edge look to the MacBook Pros, MagSafe apparently returning. But there are a couple things that I've wanted to see on the Mac that we now have confirmation are happening, just probably not in 2021. It'll probably be in 2022 or 2023. The first of which is Face ID. This is the facial scan technology that's been out since 2017. And for me, it's always been so weird to see Apple continue to push Touch ID on the Mac, which is a platform that I just genuinely don't think it's well suited for. Like, Touch ID works for me when you're looking and touching the content at the same time in a phone. You know, we're hearing for the iPhone 13 series or 12S that there's going to be an in-screen fingerprint sensor this year, so Touch ID and Face ID will be present. But on the Mac, it's always been weird to me that you're looking at the screen, and specifically like the camera for face scan, and you have to look down at the keyboard, find the Touch ID, scan it, and then look up to verify it. Like, I'm not saying this as if, oh, wow, it's so hard to do this. It's just like, it seems like it could be more streamlined, right? It's a bit weird. It breaks continuity when you have to like look down, find what to press, and then put your finger there and then look back up. It always make more sense to me on the Mac for a laptop, or specifically like the iMac. You're looking at the screen it scans your face and you're authenticated instantly. You don't have to touch anything. Like, it'd be the least interruptive way to authenticate yourself possible, because you don't touch screen the Mac yet. You know, there's been speculation about that forever. Unfortunately, no confirmation of that coming today. And apparently Face ID was actually scheduled to come to the iMac this year. And then for some reason, we don't have details as to why, but Apple has apparently pushed back Face ID from the initial iMac redesign, which I'm like, bruh. This iMac design has not changed in like 11 years or maybe 12 years now. Like, I just feel like you guys should go all out. Like, I mean, I get it. They're trying to save some features, and I feel like that's probably why. But I'm also like, dude, like, it's disappointing to know that it was coming to the iMac this year at one point, and now it's not. As for the second thing, cellular connectivity, I've been kind of split on this for a long time, because Apple has offered since the iPad 1 in 2010, iPad Wi-Fi plus cellular. And I've heard a lot of people that like do travel a lot or do a lot of business work on the road, that it does make way more sense to just have a dedicated cellular plan, so you get like full res streaming, full speeds directly beamed to your device rather than through your mobile hotspot. Because for me, that's what I do. Like, fun fact, I upload like half of my videos in the car when I'm running late just off of my hotspot. And it's just like my laptop sitting in my passenger seat. My only lover in this life is my laptop uploading YouTube videos. And in doing that, it's always been, you know, like, I'm getting those hotspot speeds. You know, I'm not going to lie, talking about this now and really thinking through it. Yeah, I'd be 100% down for your cellular MacBook, and I'd be willing to pay for it because of the amount of times I need to upload things. And I want to upload them as like fast as possible, and not with any like latency from a weird Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connection coming from my phone that also is in my car that is, you know, like, this is actually brilliant. And I feel like Apple's probably just identified that like there are a lot of customers that love cellular on the iPad. If they could just expand that a little bit to the Mac, there's some precedent here. And actually, Digitimes had a story that in 2020, we were supposed to see a MacBook with cellular. Obviously, that never happened. They were wrong on that. But it seems like Apple's been toying around with this for a while. And whenever we do see the M2, M3, M2X Macs in a couple of years, like, cellular is actually gonna be there. And I feel like that, combined with Face ID on top of Apple Silicon, on top of Apple designed GPUs, like, whew, it's just good, man. It's just so good to hear this. Like, I just was so demoralized from using the Mac for a long time. And I wasn't going to switch because I still felt like even at its lowest point, the Mac was still a better option. Oh, he's an Apple fanboy. He's gonna... No, for me, Buster is a better option for me than a PC no matter what. I'm not saying you got to use a Mac, and you're probably that, oh, I'm annoyed everybody's excited about the Mac. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry your HP that you got to replace every 2.5 years because it bugs out is still worse. Sorry to break it to you. But generally, I think this is all really good news. I mean, other things I would love to see on the Mac that we just haven't seen yet, 120 Hertz displays. Apple, I was just using my friend's Razer Blade the other night. He has 240 Hertz on his laptop. Listen, you're not running a 4K display. I don't want the excuse that 4K at 240 would be too battery consuming. No, we're getting better battery on these MacBooks. I want to see higher refresh rate displays on the Mac. Please, Apple. We have been at 60 Hertz since I've been breathing on this earth. It has never been more, and it's never been less. As far as, I mean, it's probably been less on like the original Macintosh, which, by the way, it's the birthday of the original Macintosh today, which is cool. So I wanted to put out this video for those reasons. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you learned something new. If you did, drop a like down below. Hit subscribe for more. I've been Sam, and I'll catch you cool cats in my next video.